So we're back with another match ramble, and this one we are obviously celebrating Double or Nothing taking place this weekend for AEW, and we're going to go back to the original Double or Nothing, and today we're going to be talking about a match ramble that is a highlight of AEW's entire match catalogue, and we're going to talk about the 2019 Double or Nothing match. We're going to be talking about Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes, a battle of the brothers in blood, whatever you want to call it. Now, this match it's such early era AEW in the most complimentary way, where it's a very emotional filled match. It's a very anti-WWE match in a way, in the sense of they did this out of spite because they were never able to do this in WWE. And it's very gritty, and it's a very good... Honestly, like, the thing is with AEW's matches, and a lot of people... I disagree with this statement, but there's a lot of common complaints to people who LARP AEW, meaning they don't watch the product. But they'll say AEW doesn't tell stories in the matches and stuff, and because it's not spoon-fed like, you know, other companies, it doesn't feel like that. This is a masterclass of showing how AEW does show through their stories, especially early era. It's evolved so much more since then. And what I love about this match is it the most athletic? Is it the most, like, mind-blowing? It's not like an Ospreay match, for instance, right, where it's going to be, like, the most, oh my god, he's just done a sunset, like, oh my god, he's just done this. No, it's not. It's very much a gritty match that you can very much interpret how the emotion is being played, but the emotion is bleeding through the match, literally. And it's not the most shocking matches in terms of the moves pulled out, but it's a very important match for Cody specifically. And bear in mind, we all know what Cody Rhodes is now, you know what I mean, how Cody is. And regardless if you're a fan or not, it's very much, you know, he's a very static character. This is the most developed I think I've ever seen Cody, and I like Cody. I'm not a Cody Rhodes hater. I like Cody Rhodes. And Dustin Rhodes here looks absolutely great. We'll get into it, but as a whole, to summarise, I do believe the word to describe this match is masterclass. I do. And I think it's a masterclass of... I think you've got to give Cody his credit, right? Like, Cody's credit here is... He's working with his brother, and the Dusty chants obviously starts straight away. You know, the late father, Dusty Rhodes. And, like, even the start, like, you can tell both guys emotional. Dustin already points to the sky. Like, it's very much an honour. And I love how, to me, the interpretation was Cody Rhodes was fighting his feelings and fighting the anger and, you know, the grief, essentially, of his father. Because he just beats Dustin up, but Dustin won't let him go. And I found that very powerful. I found that I don't know why, I found it very therapeutic, and, like, from an outside perspective, I don't know why. I feel like, from Cody Rhodes' perspective, obviously it's all work, don't get me wrong, but, like, I don't know, I thought it was a very interpersonal story. I think it was very raw, emotional. The emotion in this match is incredible, it really is. And, like, the resilience shown by Dustin here is great, but then you still have, you know, some fun little moments too. Like, there's a point early on where Cody goes and does the Stardust pose after doing a flip away from Dustin, and when Dustin's got him on the ropes on the top, he does that to him right in his face and then hits him for the finish. Oh, it was hilarious. And then obviously Brandi's outside the ring. She's got a bit of an involvement where she gets carried away by DDP. But the main spot early on is, so the start of the match, really, right? So, like, Brandi's out there, and Brandi's not doing too much, but there's a point where she throws a bottle at Dustin, and a bottle of water clearly distracts Dustin Rhodes, and Cody takes advantage of it. And then later on, when Dustin's thrown outside, Dustin's speared by Brandi, and she gets sent out by Ale Hebner. She won't leave. Then DDP comes over, carries her out, and that's a pretty cool moment, you know. But at least really boiling it down, like, this is the match between the brothers. And I feel like they really... I don't know what it is about this match. It's... The imagery here is second to none. It really is a phenomenal... Imagery-wise, it's very good. Like, the spot really stems from... Cody's about to... Cody's, like... Dustin's got him... And this is... I don't know where Cody's at this point. He's definitely not a heel, because he never turned heel in AEW. Because why would he at this fucking point? You know, that's Cody Rhodes for you. But, like, he's very much... Again, it's the anger, and it's not a heelish anger, it's a genuine hate anger, and that's what I really like. Again, you got to take the context of the father dying, and Cody rips the turnbuckle padding off and then throws it away, and then basically Dustin clutches on and he launches Dustin right into it, and then they do a spot where, to cover Dustin. I think that's when Brandi gets carried out, she cuts back to Dustin, and the blade job Dustin does is insane. Bear in mind, Dustin obviously used to be Goldust, so he used to full face paint, but now he's obviously got half, which it's red paint. The blood is that thick and that much it doesn't look like it's face paint. All of it looks like blood. It's an incredible visual. And then Cody goes out to pick him up and grabs him and stuff. And I thought this was really good. I think this really symbolizes all the match. Cody grabs the blood off there, Dustin, and then wipes it on his chest, which obviously, if you know Cody Rhodes, he's got a tattoo there which has his father's name. And I thought that was a very, I don't know what the word is, but it's a very, I don't want to say deep, but it's a very hard-hitting moment and visualization of what the story tried to tell. And I really enjoy it. I don't know, I thought that was excellent. Don't get me wrong, this match, it's at a disadvantage because as good as Dustin is here, Dustin's excellent here. I like Dustin Rhodes. I don't think Dustin Rhodes gets the credit for how he is post-WWE either, by the way. Don't worry, he's not like a 10 out of 10 worker, but Dustin Rhodes, bro, he's fucking great. I always enjoy seeing the guy. And for his age as well, but he's definitely a lot more static, a lot more stiff as a wrestler. Obviously at that age, but he can still fucking go. And it's great to see. And even in this match, bro, he's hitting code reds. He's hitting fucking, there's a point where they're doing an Indian deathlock, and the screaming Cody, the visual, that was a great visual where Cody's screaming at him to tap, but then Dustin won't tap, and then Dustin's constantly trying to move it, from a figure four to his advantage, and he does. Oh, it's brilliant. And I feel like that's the great word I'd use for this match, is grit. I feel like it's a very gritty match, and not in the sense of a Hangman versus Swerve type of grit. It's more like a, Cody's continuously beating him, and you could say it's a tale of resilience, but it doesn't feel like a tale of resilience. It feels like Dustin showing he won't quit on Cody in a sense, as well as the match, because I think Dustin knows he wants Cody to beat his ass. I don't know, I feel like I'm reading too much into that, but that's what it felt like to me. The crowd are loving it, as you expect, and again, the emotion is bleeding through everyone. You can clearly see the emotion through the crowd as well, and there's so much where, I think Cody does a brilliant stomp, and he's kicking at Dustin. There's so much going on with it, in terms of, the moves aren't, stellar, you know what I mean? It's not, the most insane moves where, for instance, Cody's hitting, fucking 450 splashes and shit. No, but it's more the sense of every move feels so heavy. And not in terms of the weight, I mean heavy in terms of there's so much behind it, there's so much, it adds more and more to building the blocks what this match is. And it really does, I like that. And the finish, Dustin's covered in the blood, and the mat is completely fucked. And even Cody's blonde hair at this point is covered patchy red, it's nuts. And Dustin nearly gets the win. I thought they were going to give Dustin the win at one point, but they don't. And I love how hard-hitting Dustin is here. Real good show out for him. But then Cody's they do a weird crossroads, which looked really weird. It wasn't an ordinary crossroads. And then there's a point where Cody gets, I forget if this was the crossroads or not, this is the finish. And Cody goes to hit, Cody has Dustin there and he's won. And then Cody's standing there, and you can tell he's reserved. He doesn't want to go for the pin at first. And Ailhead and the refs trying to count Dustin making the end, and Cody goes up and breaks the count, says don't count that shit. And then Cody hits, obviously, his finish. I don't know if it was the crossroads back then, but he hits a move and then basically gets the win. And the pin, the way they count the pin, the crowd goes silent, then it goes free. It's a real impactful moment. And the obvious thing everyone's seen is after the match where Dustin's in the corner and they're both clearly emotional, and Cody has the mic and he goes, you don't get to retire, I need a favour. And he basically confirms that he has a match and he needs a partner, and then he goes, I don't need a partner, I don't need a friend, I need my older brother. And a lot of people cry at this moment. It's a very emotional moment. Cody's crying, and then they both go up and hug, and it's clear, if you hear the relationship between Dustin and Cody, it's not the most clean, it's not the most cut, just because they're two different families. They're obviously got the same father, but they're very different family with Dustin and Dusty, and Cody, Dusty's both of their dads, but whole different story. But Cody and Dustin, they don't hate each other, but they weren't the closest younger. And when you consider you both wrestlers, it's very, very cool to see. And I feel like that moment's very impromptu, and the Cody's clearly upset. Cody's clearly take this in as a big moment. The crowd really appreciate it. You see people in the audience crying. The way Dustin holds Cody is genuinely a big brother thing. Obviously he is, but it's It's a really good moment, and I really do love it. It's a big moment for AEW. It's one of Cody's best moments ever, which is kind of saying something, because regardless of what you think of Cody Rhodes now, Cody Rhodes has had a lot of impactful moments in his career, a lot of big moments too in terms of company. Obviously, finishing the story being your biggest one at WrestleMania 40. Do I think this is Cody's best match I've seen? I've not seen a lot of early Cody Rhodes, I can't lie, but it's up there. I like this a lot. I didn't think it's the most, as an athletic spectacle and as the stuff that we talk about, obviously, all these matches with Kenny and Moxley and, even Okada, Takeshita, Swerve, all these, 10 out of 10 wrestlers. Not that Cody isn't that level. It's so cool to see Cody have this level of a match in an early AEW. Because I feel like Cody's AEW run obviously doesn't get talked about enough because it was so short. It obviously ended so anticlimactically. And he was so against turning fucking heel that it really feels... It feels great that he has this... To me, I'm not saying he hasn't got any, but this one moment where it's like... It's clearly a personal, it's clearly a standout, it's one of the best of his career. And I feel like for WWE fans who, for some reason, hate AEW or whatever, won't give it a chance, this is the one. This is definitely the one. It's so early on, so detached to everything that happened, and it's just a very... It doesn't feel like a storyline. It doesn't feel like a closure. It feels like a genuine personal moment for both, but mainly Cody. It is mainly about Cody here. Dustin does his job, and he does it very fucking well in terms of showing that resilience, showing that kick out, and it's not the best double or nothing match ever. No, nowhere near. But it's a great one. It's a masterclass. Like I said, everything it sets out to do, it really achieves to a ridiculously high level. And I think Dustin Rhodes doesn't get the credit he deserves for this match, but Cody too. I think this is truly a showing of how good Cody Rhodes can be. And Cody's biggest strength has always been his way to translate this emotion to the audience. Look at the WrestleMania stuff. But I think this match really shows the different sides of Cody. He's not shown as this perfect hero. He's shown as this guy with a bit more depth. He's shown as the guy with a bit more anger, a bit more, obviously, pain in him, especially with, the death of the father. This is, again, my interpretation of this is how he's coping with his father's death, and I love it. And honestly, I feel like this watching the match, it feels very much, it feels a match where, if I compare Cody, how he's presented here, just to how he is in WWE, they really get across the stuff with the match with, the relationship with the father, and it's like, I feel like in WWE, it's very much, they mention it, when I used to watch it anyway, you have that moment where Paul Heyman's going, "Your father!" And everyone felt, for a while, even I said it at the time, everyone was mentioning Dusty Rhodes to Cody, and it was like, okay, come on, fucking hell, I understand it, but Jesus, you're beating a dead horse, literally. This feels like it translates everything about the Dusty Rhodes stuff with, his impact of his death. So great. And I don't think a match has ever been able to capture that emotion of Dusty to Cody ever since his death. What I've seen, definitely not. And again, I have preference of style in WWE and AEW, but even this, I feel like just from a Cody Rhodes, who I like Cody Rhodes a lot. I think Cody Rhodes is a very good wrestler. I just think this match very much really just hones in on that character and gives you a version of it that is not common, but it fits, and it feels like an added layer for Cody, and I feel like that's what he lacks sometimes. Great wrestling, great character work, a great promo, but I feel like this is his best emotional work. And again, the story's really fucking good. Don't get me wrong, the WrestleMania 40 stuff, but this felt so interpersonal. Didn't feel like it needed these mad stakes. This felt hard hitting, and again, Dustin sells this excellently. But just as a pure match, bell to bell, it really does achieve what it sets out to do, and that's what I really enjoy about it. It's not the most insane match. It's not the most match where you'll be like, oh my god, look at that move. No, it's a tale of two brothers in blood, and it's one of AEW's earliest masterpieces, and it really shows how good that company is in terms of especially early era, where it's we're gonna do stuff that WWE won't do, but we know it should, and it feels like a great example of that. It's not trying to be this. AEW back then is so different to AEW now, where it's it's not trying to be AEW now is very much focused on in-ring work. And not that this isn't, but you know what I mean. The in-ring work he is good, but it's this felt like let's just do something that we know people want to see. And I feel like it just proved why it was a good call. It's a great match. It's a great moment. It's a great story. It's a real emotive, and it's one of Cody's best ever. No debate. And again, it's nice to see Dustin get this treatment. There is a video on YouTube. The match is on YouTube, but there's a video on YouTube by Drop Mike Wrestling, who I'm a big fan of him in Discord every time I met some of my closest friends. He made a video about this, one of his earliest ones, Brothers in Blood, and it covers the whole story, covers the match. It's definitely worth your time. It's a great match. And if you're trying to get into AEW, like a lot of people I know are, and obviously you watch good WWE trying to translate over, if you want to see Cody's stuff, I wouldn't really recommend a lot. You could watch him destroy racism, but this is the match I would recommend if you want to watch any Cody Rhodes and wrestle AEW stuff, because it's definitely his best work here. But yeah, as a match, as a story, how they convey everything, it's a masterpiece. There's no if or buts. It really is. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Cody versus Dustin at AEW Double or Nothing 2019 in their classic match. Let me know what you think of the match. What's your favourite moment of this match? And what's your opinion on Cody and or Dustin, this match in general? I'm a big fan of it. And how excited are you for Double or Nothing? Because I cannot wait.